How's that? They can see you.
Yeah.
Don't know if anyone's actually joined in yet.
Not
I don't
yet.
think so.
Live on one. Oops.
Whoa.
You can use that one there if you want to use that one. That stand.
Oh yeah.
Here we got no one up on there. That one's still going there. How you going, guys? Edgar is just setting everything all up. He's over on this side, so
Nick Summerfield.
won't be too much. Here we got Nick, Philip. Hey guys, how are we? And we've got the other camera set up on here as well.
Does everyone know who Zac is?
I'm Zac McCarty, if you haven't met me before. Real estate agent in Chermside in Brisbane, if you don't know who I am.
As if they don't know who Zac
I'm
is.
sure you've probably seen me around before. We're just setting it all up. Edgar's a bit slow. We'll have to go on the side.
Does that work though?
Yeah, that's fine.
How are you going to see the questions?
Yeah, it will. It'll move on to the side.
You reckon? So far it hasn't, but I'll take your word for it. It doesn't really look that great. Hey, Philip, how you doing? You should do it the other way. It hasn't adjusted the actual question zone.
Have you got the thing? Have you got the
lock.
The lock on it?
Hang on, guys. Let's see if I can fix something.
Edgar can't seem to use any technology.
There we go. There we go.
Cool.
Everyone keep saying hi to Zac for a second.
Hey guys.
If you have any questions, he's the man. I don't think you can see. Here we go.
Edgar's kind of still
He's
setting
the man.
everything up, so and I'm just kind of do some work. I think today Edgar's going to really talk about the planning for the next financial or this financial year. So if you got any questions at all, push them through for us, and we'll be happy to answer them. See how we go. Hey Brett, I heard you're sick. That's not good. I actually came down to see you, not Edgar. Such a disappointment. All right. So guys, yeah, we won't be too much longer. We're just setting some stuff up. He's live on Periscope too, if you're following him. So, see what's happening. Hey Brett, can see you coming through. Cool. All right, so as I said, guys, there's a few more people now coming through. A few more people. Yeah, as I said, Edgar's wanting to touch base on planning for the next financial year or this financial year. So if you have any questions about that, or really questions about anything at all, happy to help you guys out on anything. Let us know as well if the connection isn't working very well, or if it's working, if it's coming through all right. So shouldn't be too long. Close this down as well. All right. Periscope one needs to push down. You right, Eddie? That's why you never do anything with Edgar, because he'll plan it at 5 o'clock or 5:30, and it'll be about 25 minutes later down the track.
I'm just trying to tell people on the other pages to go through these two live streams. The last time I did this, whoever's here, including Britt, you guys probably know that I had 4 live streams going, and it just stuffed up the internet connection and everything froze. So I couldn't even answer some questions. So I've got it down to 2, but I'm trying to tell everybody to join on my personal profile live stream. So let's see if they actually if they get the message. Hopefully you do. Otherwise, tag your friends. If you do have some questions, though, we did have some, so I might answer some of the ones that I didn't get a chance to last time since the stream was really fuzzy. Nick, Philip, Kiara, I don't know if you guys had some questions. There was a question on PAs actually, so before I even start this, just to give people a chance to join in, I reckon, maybe we'll start answering a few questions on PAs. Is that all right, Zac?
Go for it, man.
You still got a PA? I'm going to
yes.
this around. All right. You can't see Zac now.
That's right. All good.
Okay. So obviously now we've got a few people joining. So I might twist this over a little bit. Zac, get in the picture, will you? You can't talk to people if you're not in the picture. All right. So one of the questions I had, and had Aaron as well. He's joined us on there. I'm not sure he's on Periscope because I haven't kept up to date with that one. And I'll do that. You're driving. Will this be saved? Yes, I think as soon as we finish it, it actually saves automatically. So, the question I had on PAs was, I think, how do you get a good PA? And one of the lives people, I got the question somewhere. So let's start with that. So if you guys are trying to, I'm going to move here for these guys. If you guys are trying to set yourself up in an EBU, get yourself an assistant, because obviously the only way to start getting more money, if you're looking at this planning thing I'm going to talk about, if you want to make more sales, get more listings, make more money this year, the only way you can leverage time, because everyone says, I don't have enough time, Zach. I don't have time to do my prospecting. I don't have time to do my 100 calls. I don't have time to do my letterbox drops. What else do you do?
Mate, that's it.
Yeah, so a lot of people say, I don't have time to do all this stuff. The only way you can get more time is to actually purchase it, because you get someone to help you out. So, as someone did say, if you don't have a PA, you essentially are your own PA, correct?
Yep.
So if you don't have someone doing it for $20 an hour, you basically are paying yourself $20 an hour to do this work. So if you can, get yourself a part-time assistant. Get someone to do an admin job. So I'm going to start off from the beginning to help you out. So get yourself an admin PA to start doing contract preparations, listing preparations, dropping off pre-list books, going to your pest and bill reports, going to your valuations, doing the stuff that's not dollar productive. I'm not going to go through the red, blue, black color coding, but the stuff that's not dollar productive, get someone to do that. So first get yourself an admin assistant, then the second assistant you should get is a dollar productive assistant, which is someone that's licensed, which is I think what the question was last time that we had questions running.
Yep. Yes, it will be replayed. It'll automatically be saved, Lisa.
There you go. Good. How's that for some eyesight? Zach with the eyesight. So first get yourself an admin PA. Oh, look at this. I've got the social media king right here.
I've got it. I've got everything here so I can see what's going on.
Questions.
Yeah.
Get yourself a dollar productive PA, and I think that's what the question was. So how do you find a good one? If you're going to get yourself a dollar productive one, this is my method. You can use your own method if you want, and Zach, you might be able to chip in. When I told Zach, I said, if you're going to get yourself a dollar productive one, get someone that's been in the industry for 1 year already.
Yep.
Wow, thanks. You're welcome, Lisa. Get yourself someone that's been in the industry for 1 year, because as we know, everyone that enters the industry, half of them leave after 1 year?
Oh, I thought it was something like 70% or something like that. But yeah, it would definitely easily 50% of people leave.
Yeah. Okay. So say I don't know, how many do they get in? Say 1,000 people join the real estate industry. 500 of those are going to be out of the industry by the end of the year.
Yep.
After 1 year. So if you can get yourself a PA that's been in for 1 year, at least you know that they've gone through that process. They've learned. They know the basics. You don't have to teach them all that stuff. And then at least you got them for the second year. I've got a couple of likes. Whoever's doing that, thank you so much. And then in the second year, a lot of people say, especially when you're thrown in the deep end, because a lot of people just get thrown in the deep end and go, here's a desk, here's a phone, go for it.
Yeah.
50% fail in the first year, and I reckon another 50% of what's left over fail in the second.
It'd have to be, after that as well.
So if you had 1,000 people, 500 left over after year one, and then 250 left over after year two. So after 2 years, there's only 25% of people left.
Yeah, that'd be about the right stats for what I've seen.
I reckon.
Yeah.
So if you get yourself a PA that's been in there for 1 year, then fantastic. Obviously, Liv joined me she had no experience, but I already had an admin PA, which was April, and she was my dollar productive. So she knows how to do contracts and negotiate things, go to listing appointments, sell stuff for me. I could go on holidays. Everything was set up. So that's why I think it's important to get yourself an admin that knows what they're doing, and then get yourself a dollar.
I'll throw a spanner in this works though, because sometimes, and you've had, probably shouldn't say this, you've had staff members, or I've had staff members that have worked in the industry before, that they've been in the industry for, I had one guy that we've been working for in real estate for something like 19 years, but he didn't even know how to fill out a listing appointment form.
Yeah.
So, a listing agreement, so Form 6 for Queensland. So sometimes I'll go the opposite way there, go that sometimes it's better to be able to train someone. If you've got the time though, you have to have the time to be able to sit down with that assistant. You've got to have systems in place and checklists to be able to make sure that they are able to basically work alone if you've gone out to do an appraisal or if you've done something. My assistant is only for admin work. She doesn't do any selling. She doesn't do any buyer runs. She doesn't do anything like that. I'm a bit of a control freak. I want to make sure that I'm controlling the sale, the feedback to my owners. They've hired me as the agent, so that's who they get. But my assistant Talia does all the emails. She does my calls and finds out who I need to speak to, but does all the forms and documents. And she was working at Woolworths, and we had no problems at all being able to teach her. But it was only because I had the time to be able to teach her all the systems, but also had checklists for every single system that we needed to do. So if we list something up, this is what you've got to do. We get a contract, this is what we've got to do. So yeah, so there's two ways you can do it. As I said, there's many ways to do stuff in real estate. You've just got to figure out which one works best for you. If I was doing it again, I would probably try and find someone that's been in real estate, because I want to get someone that can actually has the the courage to be able to get on the phone and prospect and speak to buyers and sellers and do all that kind of work to then give me more time to be able to prospect and give me more time to negotiate. So look, as I said, a few different ways to do it at the end of the day.
And you're right. And you can be in real estate for 10 years but only have 2 years experience.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that's when I first started years ago, as young as I look. When I first started, I reckon it took me 7 years to understand the whole process of what really happens and how to get things really going. I thought real estate just turn up and react. I didn't realise there was more to it. You can actually have more, you can be more. There's trainers out there, there's mentors. And I think it took me 7 years. So I might have been in real estate for 7 years, but really only had like a year's experience, if that makes sense.
Were you a PA when you first started with someone, or did you just go in the deep end?
Actually, with my mum and dad.
Okay, but you were learning off them at the end of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had to do all their work as you do in a family business.
Yeah. So I was a PA for 6 months, or about 6 months. I was working again with my father. He already had another PA, so his PA had enough time to be able to teach me all the stuff. But I come from a selling background anyway. I was importing cars, so I was always confident about selling, but it was just about the back end stuff, like how to get a listing, how to prospect, how to get the paperwork in check, and everything that an agent has to do by themselves when they don't have an assistant. So I learned as a PA, and then obviously went out and did the rest of it from there.
Yeah.
So
there you go. But I reckon, dollar productive, get yourself someone's been in it for a year. Then you have to teach them. See, for me, I'm time poor, so I haven't got the time to say, this is what a Form 6 is, this is what, double garage mean, this is what the lingo. I just
how to list a property up on the internet. Yeah,
so
exactly right.
And I think the other thing that the guy asked, and how do you get someone that stays? So he had a problem where people joined and then left after 1 month, 2 months, and said it's just too hard, it's not what I expected. I think you need to tell them from the start, real estate is like this. It's not about showing houses and selling stuff. It is hard work. Because no one realises it's hard work, hey?
One of the things I do, so every time I speak to someone that comes in and wants to start in real estate, I actually will go to people and tell them, hey Trent, we're going to knock you out. Alright, so yes, we're just having a bit of a no sound at all. Is that for everybody, or is that just for one person? Oh, shoot, there's 25 viewers.
Ooh, sorry.
Sorry guys.
Periscope, we just cut that feed off because I think the bandwidth was...
Yeah, well hopefully it's going to be a bit better now. There we go, now it's not weak again. Okay, hopefully guys it's working a bit better.
So sorry anyone on Periscope, I had to cut that feed, so you guys are going to have to do it through Facebook if you can see it.
So I started, when I talk to people, I always tell them about the bad stuff about real estate, how hard it is to work in real estate, and they all think about the flashy cars, the nice dinners, the nice suits and everything like that. I always try and talk them out of real estate, and then if they're still interested in real estate after that, then they should be ready to go. So cool.
Like one of the new guys I've got, he basically goes, "Oh, you try and talk me out of it." And I said, "No, I want you to understand that when you turn up, it's going to be a desk job, 9 to 5 for the first 3 months. You're going to be calling people. You're not going to be going out showing houses. You're not going to see the glitz and glamour of showing a house getting it sold. It doesn't happen like that." So I think with it, you got to sort of bring them back to reality and then bring them back up. But
and look, plenty of agents have gone in, not had any experience at all, being given a list of people to call, and they've been successful because they've had the drive to be able to do it. So again, there's not one way to do real estate, but it is one of those things. Make sure that they understand, or you understand, that it's not going to be an easy process.
Yeah. And as I think Aaron just said, there is no 9 to 5 in real estate.
No.
Liv quickly knows that. So
that'd be nice.
She knows it's like 8 o'clock till 6:30. We don't finish till about 6:30, even though our official time says 5. But there is no 9 to 5. There's not even any times at all, is there?
No.
So I think that's the important part. When you're looking for a PA, and this is what I found in Liv, you've got to find someone that's really hungry, because you can teach them stuff, you can teach them lingo, but you can't give them motivation, you can't give them hunger.
No.
So if they're not hungry, they don't really want to make it happen.
Yeah.
And they're not prepared to put in whatever it takes, and I mean whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Then that's not the right personality for what you need, because it's going to be hard. And like she said, I mean, you talked to her before the live feed started.
Yeah.
And did she say that she didn't expect it to be like this hard?
They're never expecting it to be that hard, which is kind of interesting to say, because they, as I said, they see all the glitz and glam on the outside of everything. So
Adrian, I know that we haven't done the business plan, but I promise I'll do it, because we're actually getting a bit of interaction. So this is awesome. Well, what's he gonna do?
What's that? I'm gonna swap something up. So yeah. Okay. All right, guys, go for it.
Adrian, how many years did it take before you hired a PA? Okay. So for me, like I told you, I had to run the business, and I was basically learning from the start. I didn't know there was a better way. And then once I found out there was a better way, I think it took me about 3 years, but that's because I just had a lot of other stuff to do. But to be honest, I think you need to hire a PA as soon as you need one. So for the new guy that just started, Mark, He's been with me for like a week and a half. He's been in business, he's been in construction, you were talking to him before. So he knows about prospecting, calling builders, trying to generate income. He just wants to go in front of people and see people, which is great, because if you don't get eyeball to eyeball with potential vendors, you're not going to list anything, are you?
No, that's right. Yep.
So he knows that. So in his case, because he's already got this whole business going for his construction side, I told him, you know what, maybe you need to hire yourself a PA like for 2 or 3 days a week or 1 day a week, but right now to do your data entry, to send out your stuff, to do your letters, to fold your letters, and to do that stuff so that you can actually go out and start door knocking. He went door knocking today. Start doing the stuff that's more dollar productive and hire someone to do it. Now, if you get a junior, I just looked at the junior rates in Queensland. If you get someone that's 16, 17 on a casual rate, it's I think $11.43 an hour. Now, why wouldn't you get yourself a junior to start putting your data into Locked On or desktop or whatever you guys use, so that you can go and do something that's worth more than $11 an hour? So I'll leave that in, I suppose, for you to think about, something to think about. Were you going to say something, Zac?
No, that's all good.
No. All right. Just hired Aaron just hired one of his 6 months ago. I don't know, Aaron, yours is called April as well, because I chatted to you. So yeah, I can't remember the other questions unless you can see it.
No.
I think someone did say something about whoever asked a question about can you be a top performer without a PA? If you had that, can you rewrite that question? Just tick on Facebook, but I'm hearing it from you now. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think Facebook's running better because we've cut the streams on the other channels. Someone did say...
how many years did it take to hire a PA?
Yeah, and I think I just covered that.
Yeah.
So I reckon as soon as you can afford one, get one. If you can get one for at least 1 day a week, just get yourself one for 1 day a week, part-time.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to, if you're on my Facebook feed and you're on my profile, you'll realise that April, who is one of my dollar productive PAs, but now is doing my admin side to help us out there quicker, I'm actually going to hire my PA a PA, if that makes sense. I'm getting an assistant for April who can do the stuff that she's overqualified for, so that she can do more of my dollar productive items. So that way I'll have 2 agents basically running.
When you look at the big teams, especially like the guy from Gary from Sydney, one of the top, well, Ray White's number 1, he has like an assistant, like a buyer's agent who has an assistant.
Yeah.
So it's the same system as what you're looking at as well. So
yeah.
for a lot of the training that you go to, and I'm definitely not the obviously the expert in talking about this, but a lot of the training that I've been to, a lot of people do say that get a PA before you can actually afford to get a PA. So if you know that you're doing 3 or 4 sales a month, then it's time to get, and you're consistently doing it over a 3, 4, 5, 6 month period, then you can afford it. It's simple as that, unless you're as bad as money as me. But you can afford to get a PA. So get it before you actually do, before it's too late.
Okay.
So
yeah. Absolutely,
yeah.
And I know, even for my own team, I've got some staff that they're top performers. I mean, Claudia's doing amazing, and she does have her husband and some of the family members helping. So if you got someone helping, that's fantastic. But if you don't, I mean, just get someone for 3-4 hours a week. Just don't do the data entry yourself, because you could be doing so much better stuff.
Let's move off the PA stuff if we can.
Yeah. Hang on, one more question. He was asking.
No, it was me asking.
Oh, it was me asking.
So
Kiara. Okay, and then Britt just repeated it.
Yeah.
So. Can you be a top agent without a PA? Absolutely. You were a top agent. This guy here, in case no one realises, was Radenhorn number 1 for Queensland. Radenhorn number 1 right here.
And you know what was even funny? I didn't have a PA for about 3 years. I became number 1. I was number 2 my first ever year in real estate. Rookie of the Year, Australia-wide for Radenhorn. Second year I was number 1. Third year I was number 2 again. And I did it all without having a database. I was using my Outlook.
Yeah, his CRM was Microsoft Outlook. That's how he did it, and he got to number 1.
So you don't have to, but it makes it so much easier when you have everything else. So
yeah. And I mean, the CRM was a question that we had, I think, on Friday that I quickly covered, but that feed didn't save because it was a crappy feed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Talking about CRMs, and someone asked what to use and stuff. To be honest, I don't think it matters what you use. As Zac just pointed out, you can use Microsoft Outlook and still be a top agent. But what makes a top agent is, 1, you're hungry enough to want the business. 2, if you fail, you just keep going, you don't give up. And 3, I'm guessing for
turn
you...
up.
Hey?
Turn up.
Yeah, turn up. But when you turn up, don't just sit there.
Work.
I'm assuming, because someone also asked me, what's your most dollar productive activities, or what would you do if you first started off? And I said, pick up the phone and call people.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you turned up, you were hungry, you wouldn't take no for an answer, and like Zac came to the office today a little bit early, and you did like an hour's worth of phone calls.
Yeah, I had an hour before this, so I made sure that...
I'm not going to show you his numbers, but here's Zac's, he's sitting at the conference table here, calling all these people, like you called about 100 people.
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
100 people. So pick up the phone and just call, guys. That there is no secret to success, is there? I mean,
No,
I send out letters and we send out SMSs and we've got trails and stuff, but really, if I didn't pick up the phone and follow them up, that would mean all or nothing. It really would mean nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
so,
Stu. Hey, Demelza. Wait
Stu
for Stu.
Demelza.
He's going to grill us about something. He always grills people about something. So
No
make sure you don't. Make sure you say Moe correctly. Otherwise,
Moet.
Moet. Otherwise,
Moet.
you'll pick
Hey.
up on that one.
Brit loves champagne. And hi to Linda on the other feed. Yes,
Yeah.
I do remember our first conjunction back in. When did we first do our first conjunction? God, I don't know, like 1980.
So what's Adrian's? What
Adrian.
was your best way of finding sellers?
Please
So again,
What's your
I had
best
this conversation that just before.
pause. Product,
Oh, God.
brought to you by Coconut Water. Who's this guy? I can't remember him, but anyone that loves coconut water, this is brought to you by this guy. All right. Go for it.
Yeah, when I first started, we were on our own. We opened up our own business. I was a PA. We finished off that. And we went off and opened up our own business. We had nothing. It was right on GFC. The first listings I ever had were basically open listings to start off with, and they were all developers. So they were brand new units. In the north side of Brisbane, there was a lot of development going on. I just went around. We picked up about 53 brand new units in a matter of 4 days. Now, only one of those complexes that had 3 units we got exclusively, but it was about just getting the relationship and building it through there. So that was for the easiest way on that one there. One of the... Do I want to say it? There's a lot of people on here.
Don't give away secrets. I mean,
There's
shit, but
the
I don't know what you're
the easiest way to find a seller is laser point marketing or laser pointing the people who are actually in real estate mode. So you've got to figure out.
That's hard though. How do you find people in real estate mode when they're?
Well, I don't want to give away that other one.
Yeah.
The people that have either come to your open homes that are not interested in buying are generally going to be someone that is potentially looking at selling at some point down the road. So don't focus on shotgun marketing of just putting every letterbox and like do all that kind of stuff as backup, but talk to the people you think are actually in real estate mode by the people that are actually interested. And there's my phone going off. So apologise to everyone on the real estate community because that live feed's now gone off. Yeah, sorry guys, someone just called through, so live feed just went off. Yeah, so that's for me. It's really talking about people that are actually that have been speaking about real estate. So go and see the people that you've met before. Obviously past appraisals and stuff like that as well.
Yeah. My secret to finding sellers. We don't actually try to find sellers right now, so I don't know if that contradicts what you said.
Yeah, no, that's right.
But if
he's looking for a seller right now, what would you do?
Oh man.
Everyone knows how to should know how to nurture.
If you're looking for a seller right now, I suppose go to the garage sales, talk to people that are moving, find people that are renovating, knock on their door. But I mean, we don't do that. But I'm guessing they're the ones that are going to be in real estate mode because they're preparing for something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I suppose if you've got an expired list of people in your agency, call them.
Yeah. All right, let's go to planning.
I've got one thing.
Okay, go.
But you probably do follow me since you're on my profile page. Anyone that follows me on social media, Instagram, Facebook page, you guys will see that we do a lot of letters, a lot of DL letterbox drops, flyers, and if you're in my mentor program, you'll know what I'm talking about. There's an attraction thing where they request you to do an appraisal, and you were talking about. I was talking to Zac about this thing. It's a bit like SMSing request for an appraisal, right? We average about 50 to 55 a month, and we sent out a couple of SMSs to a follow-up for a warm appraisal, and that was 2 days ago, and she got 17 in one day, 17 requests for appraisals. But this is because we actually database everyone in our suburb, and we send out these letters and prospecting stuff that's on my other mentor program, and we get this feedback. So we database them, we put them on trials, and we nurture them. And really, to be honest, people list about 1 year to 1.5 years after you first contact them. I've noticed, and I had to redo one of my potential vendor trails, and now it's a 2-year trail that has SMSs, letters, cards, seasonal greetings, stuff like that, just to make sure that we're always on top of it and they always hear from us, because I know it takes 12 to 16 months to 18 months before they'll actually say, yes, Eddie, come and sell my house. Yep. So don't look for sellers right now. You need to start prospecting now for what's going to happen in 60 to 90 days. Yep. That's my little quick tip. Yep. Phoebe.
Hey, Phoebe.
How can we say hi to Zac and not me?
Hello.
She doesn't recognise me because I'm looking so good.
That's it.
All right, shall we move into some business plans? I'm going to need you guys to help me out. So this is what the whole live feed was about. It's business planning for 2016, 2017, because I was talking to my EBU team and we smashed it. We had our best year ever last year, best in 15 years. Like we smashed our records. So I told her, okay, we've got to lift our game up, and there's an announcement I'm going to make, and I haven't even told you. So I've got some huge plans for the next 5 years, huge. It doesn't just involve real estate, so it's going to involve all my other businesses and probably opening up new stuff. But I told them, like in the real estate side, Zach's phone's going off, sorry, anyone on the real estate community. On the real estate side, I was telling April and Liv that we're going to have to lift up our game. We're doing really well. We're getting three, 4 listings a week. We're going to have to bump it up because I've got some big plans. So I'm going to redo the business plan for them, which made me think about it. I'm going to redo this for you guys, and you guys can give me a bit of an insight in what figures you want to use. But I'm going to design one. So this is exactly what I'm going to go through with my team. I'm not going to do it in full detail, but I'll give you a rough idea. So
Can I just say as well, having a business plan in place is really bloody important. And for me, it hasn't been as important as what it has been for this year. I had to take some time off, which I didn't plan on, didn't know it was going to happen. It's been nearly 2 months before I got back into the business. And if I hadn't have, and I was lucky, I was doing a program with Elite Agent Magazine that they were helping me, pre-plan stuff. If I hadn't had an idea where I was going to be or where I should have been, I probably would have been wouldn't be financially ruined, but I wouldn't have been in a very good position financially with if I hadn't been pre-planning. So for me, this is such an important task to make sure that you know exactly where you are in each month, each day, each quarter, absolutely everywhere. So as I said, planning is just, to me now, it's just one of the most important things.
And I never used to like it, to be honest. When people talk business plans, I'm like, I don't need a business plan.
Yeah.
That's for other guys. I'm just selling real estate. I don't care.
Or if it was a business plan, it's like, okay, I'm going to do 50 sales and then that's it. Or you do it like a Danny Hayes, write it on a napkin.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. All right.
But business plans used to scare me because I thought they were pages and pages and pages long, and you had to like full detail. That's a load of crap. And I actually haven't said that word for ages. I don't know if anyone who's ever heard my crap talk that I did for Glenn Twiddle. But yeah, business plans with pages and pages and pages is a load of crap. I'm telling you right now, it's crap. You're not going to follow it. It's too hard. It's just, I'm not even going to say the word, any other word. It's just crap, so don't do it. Let's do a really simple one. It's one page, and basically it'll narrow down to the most basic of stuff that you have to do. And as long as you do that, the rest of your year is going to be fantastically fine.
Yep.
Okay, I'm getting all excited. I love business plans. Love it. Okay, so someone there on either of these two feeds, and you've got a few people on. Are you doing on Trek? Is that what this feed is?
Yeah, I've put mine on Trek.
Okay, so either you guys, so Darren, Andrew, Michael, anyone that's on the Trek feed, you guys can help me out, or anyone that's on our other feed. Give me a figure of how much you'd like to earn in a year. So anyone, just throw one out. It doesn't really matter. You can be 100, 200. You just give us a figure, and then you have to do the calculation.
I'll do it out. Yep.
Can someone throw a figure out at me? And we'll start doing a business plan to earn that per year. So, that's other messages.
Yeah.
Someone, ooh, nobody wants to stick their neck out and go, yeah, this much money.
Let's work off 500,000 then.
500? Can I get 500? 500? We have got 500.
500 is what my business plan is, with 4 months off during the year.
Okay.
So a little bit different from most people, but
cool. Hopefully this is the right way around. So let's do this. So.
Someone just said 200,000, someone 600,000, 1 million. Okay, cool. All right.
So what is the Nick?
Look, if you're looking at if you're looking at a million, just double the 500. That's probably the easiest way to figure it out. If you're looking at 600, then add 10% on top, 30%.
Yeah. To be honest, I reckon most people probably would be around it wouldn't be hard to do 200. I mean, 100 is going to be really easy.
Yep. So
if you want to do 100, 200, someone's saying 200. Shall I change this to 200 and make it easy for you guys?
Yeah, do 200 because it's an easy one. So that's net after split. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to do this net. So this is what you're going to make in your paper.
Aaron wants $1 million net in his pocket.
Aaron, you're probably already getting that.
That's good, mate.
All right, so can you guys see that? Can someone please tell me if that's the right way around? Because I know that this is like a mirror effect.
Okay, not right away, mirror image when writing. Okay,
right. Okay.
We'll figure something out.
I don't know how to write in reverse.
No, we'll work something out.
I might have to take a photo of this, or unless, Zach, are you on there? Can you type on both of these feeds?
Yes. Okay.
I might get Zach to type these figures into these feeds and then press enter and people can follow that way. Elizabeth, no. Okay. So, 200,000. Now, what's most people getting paid? To make it easy, can we just say 50%? Can you guys, are most of you on 50%, half to the office, half to you?
Yep.
If that's cool. So let's go 200,000, you're getting paid 50%. Split. So that means, as Aaron was asking, gross wise for gross commission, you're going to have to double it because obviously to get 200, you guys need to sell 400,000. Hopefully that makes a bit of sense. You can still make out what I'm writing, cool. So obviously if you're at a 50% split, $400,000 is what you're going to have to sell. Yeah? So as long as you make 400 grand in sales, you're going to get $200,000 in your pocket. Now what we need to do is work out your average commission. So I'm not sure, everyone charges different things. So let's just try and make this simple and you guys can tweak this for yourself.
10,000.
Average commission rate?
10,000.
No, let's do rates though, because everyone's on different rates, and then we'll work out average commission. But, alright, so let's say...
What do you mean
we're
rates?
going to make it 10,000.
What do you mean rates?
What commission rate you guys charge?
Oh, yeah, but
So-
that's going to be a personal preference. You
I
can't
know.
really...
And that's what, but
Yeah.
I just want them to work this out.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, if we can, okay, if we say we're charging 2.5%, I'm just going to make this figure out. What's the price on, so a $500,000 average sale, 2.5%, 10 grand?
Oh, probably. Yeah, just work on 10 grand. Yep.
Yeah, so let's say you charge 2%, just to make this easy, right? So your average sale is $500,000. So just work out your average sale. I'm going to write that down here. Average sale, 500 grand. Now, just to make this easier, I'm going to say 2%. You guys are somewhere at 2.7, 2.5, 3, whatever you guys charge, right? But just for simplicity, your average sale is 500,000. You charge 2%, which means your commission is always pretty much going to be
I didn't listen to what you were saying. I'm sorry. I was doing something.
$10,000.
10,000. Sorry. Yep. Cool.
Aaron said, oh, okay.
12, yeah.
I thought you were working on these figures.
Yep.
Okay, so Darren's on 3, Aaron's on 3, Elizabeth's on 2. Everyone charges different things.
Yeah.
And deregulation of commission is just another topic anyway. But all right, so that means your average commission, working it out this way, you guys do your own figures. If you're working with me right now, you can write this on a piece of paper. So your average commission is 10 grand. Got it? So hopefully you're following this. So how many sales do we need to make our 400,000 gross?
40.
40 sales.
Actual sales.
Yeah? So I don't know if anyone can work that figure out, but I'm guessing you just go 400,000 divided by 10.
Yep.
Gives you 40, right? So total sales needed is 40.
Yeah.
Correct? Now you need to work out your list to sell ratio. So obviously in some areas, like probably Zac here and Claudia in doing South Brisbane for me, they've got like a 90 to 100% success rate because you only list what you definitely know you can sell, right?
Yeah. Or try. Yeah.
Yeah, or you try. And other people basically just list whatever they can and there's a different ratio. So, I mean, let's work on a conservative ratio. Don't say
Go 50% again, just to make the numbers easier.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially with my terrible maths.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if you sell 50% of your stock,
Which we hope you sell more.
Yeah, and obviously you need 40 sales. It means that you need to list 80 properties because
Yep.
you're going to sell half of those and you're going to get your 40 sales. Hopefully you're starting to work backwards with me.
Yep.
So total listings needed
Is 80.
is 80.
But the hard part is where it comes into play of your listing presentation to your actual listing ratio. Now that's where obviously a lot of people generally don't get the listing in the first place. So you've got to work out, do you every second property you get, every third or every fourth, or do you only get say 1 out of 10? You only get 10%. So you got to work out that. So what would you work out? Are you going to go 50% too?
Oh, well, listing presentation.
Yeah. So a presentation to list strategy. Because then you need to figure out how many doors you need to be into, and then you need to figure out how many people you need to be speaking to, and then what prospecting tools you need to work from there.
He's going deep. I was going to keep it simple. He's
I
going
know.
deep.
Well, if you're going to look at it, you've got to look at how many phone calls you make to your connections.
Yeah.
How many connections do you make to get an appointment? How many appointments do you then turn into a listing?
Yeah.
Because if you're going to do all of this, you can't just sit there and be like, oh, cool, cool, you can get 80 listings. Well, how do you get the 80 listings?
Let's keep this simple and then we'll expand it, okay? So let's keep this simple and then I'll expand I suppose when I finish my part of the presentation, Zac can take over and go into the details. Because I don't want to scare people off. But you need 80 listings so you can get your, I've lost track now, you need 80 listings because you're going to sell half of those and you end up selling 40 houses out of your 80. Your 40 houses at 10 grand each is your 400,000. Your 400,000 divided by 50% to the office, 50 to you, is your 200 grand. Then you need to divide this into weekly listings. So, I mean, you can divide this into 52 if you wanted to. Nick Thornton, he works on 6 appraisals and 4 listings to 2 sales. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably about for high performers, that's probably what you guys are doing. You'll probably see this on the feed anyway.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Nick. Perfect.
Can someone, unless Zach's got a calculator, go 80 listings required divided by, do people, let's take 4 weeks off the year because we're going to go on holidays and you're going to be performing well and you're going to take a week off or a weekend off, right? So let's divide 80 listings by 48. Has someone got 48? 80 divided by 48. Hey Drew, how you doing, bud?
What do we got? What is it?
So
80 divided by...
80 divided by 48. So I'm going to go total weeks.
Oh yeah, gotcha. 1.6, 1.5.
Work 48. So, sorry guys, listings per week. And I think Zach did work it out. Did someone hear what Zach said?
Sorry. Just scaring your PAs. Yep.
See ya.
See ya.
Do you want to say hi to everyone before you go?
No.
Come on, show your face on camera. Come on. I know you got the whole head set up. Here's Liv. She's like a calling machine. How many calls did you make this morning between 8 and 9?
80, I think.
Yeah.
A few, yeah.
Yeah, and how many did you connect to? So, sorry, how many dials? Because we talk about calls. How many dials did you make? 80.
80 dials and 22 connects.
And 22 connects, there you go. And that was in 40 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she keeps track of her number. You keep track of your numbers as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
And one listing.
And one listing out of it.
Yeah.
And one sale.
And one sale. Yeah, today's been a good day.
Someone that knows their numbers, which vehicles, all of this.
And and Liv's been here for 4 months and 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
All right, so 48 weeks of the year, we need 8 listings. How many listings per week? Can someone help me out?
1.6.
1.6?
Yep.
Okay, well obviously you can't do 1.6
2.
listings, so you round that up to 2.
Yep.
So your magical figure, and this is how simple I keep it for my team, we just have to work on whatever the hell we need to do to get out 2 listings a week. For us, we're actually working on 3 listings per week or 4. But that's a simple business plan. I don't know how to make it any easier. If you want if you want your $200,000, when you break this right down, you just need to make sure you go out there and you list 2 properties per week, and you should be on track. Now Zach can take over and start doing it. You know, you can start talking about
The backward stuff.
the other stuff. So that's as simple as I keep it, but he can go into it deeper.
So one of the things that I'm with, I use Josh Fegan's training, so I've got his KPI systems and everything like that, and it's really good. It's got, you can track all your numbers, how many phone call sessions you make, and everything like that, and it will actually then tell you how many phone calls it takes to make an appointment. So I could be working on, I don't know what my stats are, I don't have them up at the moment, but it could be 80 phone calls before I have, like actual connections before I actually meet someone. Now that's not cold, that's people that I've spoken to before, and I'm giving them the quarterly updates and everything like that. I know people that are going to better turnover than what I do, but I work on about every 80 people, I'm going to sit down with someone, they're looking at selling. Now I've just done 146 phone calls, I think, in the last 2 days. And we've got 6 potential sellers, and I've got 3 meetings with some pretty big kind of development sites actually at the end of the day. So the stats always jump up and down, but I know how many phone calls I've got to make, how many people I've got to see to be able to get my numbers at the end of the day. And it comes down to, I know an agent that has stats on everything they do, and I'm talking how many letterbox drops they do, how many calls they get in, how many phone calls they make, how much social media stuff that they do, absolutely everything that they do prospecting wise, they've got KPIs and everything like that for it. And it's really interesting seeing their stats compared to mine, because mine are very basic compared to what his is, but it's very advanced compared to what I used to do, which was none. I never used to do any of this at all. So, and it's a lot cleaner now too. I find that the people I'm speaking to and the listings are a bit easier, and knowing that I'm going to be getting this kind of money this month because I'm doing these phone calls, or I know I'm not going to get this money this week because, hey, I didn't make those phone calls or I didn't do that prospecting. So, but it always comes out of this. I have this sitting in front of me at the office all the time, so I know exactly where I should be. But I break it down again, so you've got this down to how many listings. I've got it in months. Each month I have a spreadsheet. Have no idea if that's going to come up at all, but we'll see if this comes up. I have a spreadsheet of 14 appraisals.
Get it close, there you go, Zach.
14 appraisals, 7 listings, 5 sales, 50k for the month. So it's as simple as basically just filling something like that out to keep a bit of an idea and a plan of where you are.
Yeah, and something you just said that reminded me of this line that, if you haven't written this down, you haven't got it somewhere, write it down now. Whatever happens to you in the next 60 to 90 days is a result of what you did or did not do right now this week.
Yep.
So whatever happens to you in 60 to 90 days is what you did or did not do this week. Write that down, because that means that, what are we in, July? So August, September, October. Whatever happens in October, if you're going to have a good October and start selling houses and sell a lot and list a lot, is because of what you did today. Now, if you have a week of slacking off and not doing anything, that's going to affect 3 weeks of your October or 1 week of your October. You're not going to be that well off at the end of the year.
We look at, as I said, I had to take time off. It was a thing that I had to do. It was unexpected. It took me 2 months to get back into it, and I'm at the moment haven't got many listings, haven't got many sales. I'm open and honest about that. But now we're working really hard, and we can already see where I'm going to be in 2 or 3 months. Actually, I'm going to be in America in 2 months, but anyways, I already know where it's going to be because I've already started listing properties. I've already started selling properties again, and it's just been a bit powerful. I was going to say something else as well, but I can't remember what it was. Keep on. Yeah.
Keep thinking about it. Someone. Jacqueline said that this is backwards, so I know it's backwards.
Yeah,
what I'm going to do at the end of this, I'll take a photo and I'll post it in the thread section in the comments, and you guys will see it the right way around. Yeah. What were you going to say?
I don't know what it was. It was something else. That's all good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so as Zac said, you can break it down even further. Listing presentation. If you go to 4 listing presentations, you get half of them. It brings you down to 2, and you can really break it down like that. But to be honest, mine is as simple as this. And I don't know if you guys have seen the funnel wall and my whiteboard there. This is basically exactly it with the figure that we want to make and all our list of sale ratios. That is it. So Liv and I and April sit down, and if you have an EBU, it's always important to have a 5-minute huddle in the morning. It's while you keep thinking about whatever you were going to say.
Yeah.
But I think when you get in the morning, have a 5-minute huddle with your EBU team. If you haven't got one, maybe get an accountability partner in your office. But have a huddle and say, right, where are we at? What forms we got out? Who do we need to talk to get our 2 listings this week? And as long as you just focus on, I need to talk to 2, I need to get 2, I need to get 2, magically, I don't know, you just do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And maybe when you get to listing presentation, you're a bit more hungry because you want to get there. And, if you got one more to go, you just want to get it. Or you pick up the phone a little bit more because you want to get there by Wednesday or Thursday so that you can relax for the weekend.
If you've got your plan in front of you, one of the things is if you're behind, you should be, well, I know I am, I'm more motivated when I know I'm behind.
Yeah.
And if it's in front of you all the time, so if it comes to August and I'm supposed to have 10 sales and I've got 4, well, what the hell do I need to do? What haven't I been doing? Oh, that's what I was going to say. What you're doing now is, what you do now comes back 60, 90 days. The best way to think about that now, though, is what are you doing right now? How is your listings? How is everything going right now? Because think back what you were doing 60, 90, 30 days ago, and try and remember what you were doing. And more likely for me, I was in a hospital bed, but I wasn't doing anything, which means that I've got nothing really to work on, or not that much to work on now.
Yeah.
So I always work backwards. I don't try and think forwards with that. I always try and think backwards on it. So
yeah. And look, people either run away from pain or they go towards pain. You're probably one of these people that want to go towards pain.
I love pain.
You like that?
I love pain. If I'm broke, I will work harder than what I will if I've got 20 grand in the bank.
Yeah.
Which is stupid, but I don't know if Jed Xavier's watching here, but he'll be able to explain the whole reason behind that. But yeah, I work harder with pain. Nathan Haynes, how are you, buddy? It's been a long time. Just starting to track our numbers and starting to see good traction. This is great info. Yeah, look, it changed my business as well when I started doing it, and it just makes everything clear.
Yeah. So, and look, and whatever isn't measured isn't achieved, I think.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go into real estate or come into the office and you don't have something simple like this, and a lot of people come in and they're reactive, so they're like, I ask them, what are you going to do today? And some stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, but what? And they haven't got an ideal week. I'm not going to cover that in this session. I might do that another time. But if you haven't got an ideal week or an ideal day, now don't get scared about this. I know a lot of people are like, oh, an ideal week, an ideal day. I can't do it. All that is you owning blocks of your time. So it means that I'm going to dedicate 1 or 2 hours of my time to calling my past appraisals. And then I'm going to dedicate the next morning to going through my hot buyers list and finding them a house. And then on Saturdays, I'm going to have open houses at these times. So that's all an ideal week is just making sure on certain days you've got stuff that's important that you have to do anyway to be dollar productive, and you do it. And one bad thing that a lot of people do is when you get a buyer appointment, you get all excited, or a listing appointment, like you just book it in. And you book it in for the time that you had for prospecting, or you book it in for time for your phone calls. And then you push that to the side, and then that doesn't get done that week. and then something else happens the following week and you don't do it either. And that's how I think you start doing this whole lag thing. So it's important, if you made an appointment with yourself, you keep that appointment with yourself, because that's your future funnel. One thing about this thing, and I'm big on why, and I did get, a few years ago when I was talking about this, there's one speaker that goes, oh, you don't need a why, it doesn't really matter what you why, you just want money. And what a load of crap, that's just a load of crap. You can't just want money. You got that figure that you want to earn for the year, there's got to be a reason for it, because you have to reward yourself. Now, I'm not going to go to that cognitive part of your brain that goes towards pleasure and rewards, but you need to know why. Like, Zac's got a why, but why do you want your $200,000? Like, I know a lot of people, they're fine, they're okay doing okay. You don't need, some people need 50, some people need 100, some people need 500. Zac probably needs like 2 million for the travels that he does. I wasn't joking,
Yeah.
No, so what's your why? I mean, obviously when you start achieving things, reward yourself, because when you reward yourself, you want more. It's just something to do with the back of your subconscious and your brain. And you go towards like a reward system. So find out your why. If it's going on holidays like Zac, work your butt off as you do, and then book a holiday, because that's what you're working towards. Or pay off and buy. For me, it's cars. I love cars. I've got a collection of cars. You probably saw it on social media.
And socks. He probably has a home loan just on socks, I reckon.
No, socks. If anyone follows my socks, because of the post that I've done, I've actually become an ambassador for one of the David Jones companies. They've given me this stuff. But yeah, so for me, it's like I love not being in debt. So the only debt I've got is investment properties. Everything the office is paid off. My cars are paid off. It's all cash. But that's because I love the freedom of doing whatever I want. That's right. That's my why. Your why is holidays. Other people's whys is children, or putting food on the table, or enjoying nice stuff, or just imagine. And I'm not going to play the visualization game. I'll do a video on that later. But if you close your eyes and just imagine what your life will be like, the way that you want it. So, close your eyes and imagine the car that you want to drive, and being able to go out and eat where you want to eat, and go to New York and wear nice stuff and buy shoes and whatever else you want. Just imagine that life and just create it, because you can have it. We weren't put on this world to struggle.
No.
I don't think we were put in this world so we could struggle, complain and suffer. That's not the way that we were supposed to be. So we're supposed to live in abundance. So hence, make a why big enough. And you know what? Make a big why. That figure. Whatever you're thinking now, I'm going to tell you double it, and I'll do a video. Like, I've got the figure that I've got, and this is not just for real estate, for the whole business thing. I'll share it with you later this week, but it's huge. It's a 5-year plan, and it blows all this out of the water. So whatever your plan is, reach for the moon, because if you reach halfway, it's going to be fantastic. And if you actually get there, imagine your life.
Jacqueline just put up there, book the holiday first. I've just done that. Well, I did that a little while ago, and that's how I work as well. I always book a holiday. Probably can't afford it, but I just book it, and then I just basically work away. I work away to be able to afford it. My America trip, I'm away for just over a month, and it's costing more than what some house deposits are. But you know what? Who cares? It's my why of why I'm doing it, and I'm working my ass off. It's all good now. I'm all fine, but I'm working my ass off to do it. And what's even funny is I'm going to New Zealand only 3 days after the fact. So when I get back from America, and that's a small mini holiday as well. So yeah, it's all about that. So guys, is there any other questions about planning or anything as well?
We've got a few things. I know Nick's saying that 12-month plan starts with a holiday. You've got a plan to work forward to the why. Yep. Exactly right.
So with my 12-month plan, if you had a look at my calendar, you will see that I've got America already pre-booked in for a month and a half. I've then got New Zealand for about 3-4 days. I'm going to Kangaroo Island. It's a health retreat in December for a week. In February, I've got it penciled in. It's not 100%, but I've got 12 days in Japan to go to the Sapporo Ice Festival. That's the photo I put on your Facebook. That's what you're trying to figure out. Yeah. And then I've got about 4 or 5 different Melbourne trips already pre-booked, and I've actually paid for those tickets to go anyway. Just got to get accommodation. But that's already been put in, and I leave on Saturday nights and come back on Sunday night. So that's a lot of time off in 1 year, but it's already pre-planned through it all. I've then got my planning for each month, what marketing is to go out. I've now got, I've just got my website built, so I've now got my blogs and some of that. I've got pre-planning for all of that for the next 52 weeks.
Check that out. What's your website? His personal websites. I know that a few people on Trek were asking about personal websites. I've got one, but mine's more tailored towards speaking, mentoring and stuff. But your one's real estate related, so check it out.
It's only just done it, so I'd love people check it out, see if there's anything that you as an agent would want to see on there, or anything at all. It's just zacmccarty.com.au. And No, I do not have children. That's the reason why I can travel and do all the stuff that I do: ride motorbikes, drive fast cars, all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah, and whoever said about show us your socks, go to my Instagram page. Instagram's going off, by the way. Like, I know that.
hang on a second.
What's he doing?
I actually
Oh!
have.
Oh!
I can't see.
Snap! Check this out.
I had to bring my sock game. Oh, I can't lift the leg up. I had to bring my sock game on high with Edgar.
What's this?
so-
Are these bananas?
They're ramen.
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 Oh, ramen.
Japanese,
Ramen.
mate. So yeah.
Check out my Instagram page. That's where I put on my socks. I just got normal.
He's got
socks
plain socks on
on.
today.
Plain ones, but Instagram, Edgar Naslow team, go on there now. Social media is going off. Instagram is going off. If you guys are into social media, look, I'm just sharing a few things, and I've got like 17,000 followers from the stuff that I share. So just make sure if you're going to share things on social media, make it clear, make it fun, have good photos, and you know, positive messages, I think, and just share parts of your life and be real. I can't stress it enough. Be real.
Yeah.
We've got a few people just laughing. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah,
cool.
go to Instagram, you'll love it. And then my cat's on there too. Cat's got like 10,000 followers. He's insane. Little man Jasper. Here's a plug for little man Jasper. Do we have any other questions? Do we have any other I know there probably are some questions that we missed, because last time I did a feed, I just missed a heap of questions. And sorry once again if you joined us from Periscope. I'm sorry because we had to cut that feed so that we could get more bandwidth for the Facebook. Facebook seems to take a bit more bandwidth.
Facebook definitely takes more bandwidth, but we had to knock off 25 people off Periscope before.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
So if you're not on Periscope, Periscope's a really great international feed, I suppose. Everyone jumps on there, so it's huge internationally.
I don't think there's any other questions.
So Nick and Jacqueline just having a conversation on the thread. That's no problem.
That's the way.
So what was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say.
We'll take a photo of this, put it up there. We'll put a little bit of a description about what it all is, and yeah, we're happy to answer anything else. Obviously, Edgar's the man making the big money. I'm just the guy that takes the holidays, so he's the one to really speak to. But ask us any questions at all. Happy to help out.
And we've still got quite a few people here, so I mean, I'll run this for a little bit longer. I know that Facebook feeds can go for an hour and a half, but I can't.
Your battery's about to go.
Hey?
Your battery's about to go. That's why.
Actually, I can plug that in.
Cool.
Do you want to talk for a sec? Actually, I might even plug it in later.
Yeah, plug it in later.
I was going to talk about social media anyway. I mean, social media's going off, so I've been doing this for.
Okay, here we go. For social media, do you have a plan?
Yes.
Do you have it all pre-planned?
Yes.
All right. So
everything's planned.
So do you?
Oh, we got some crap.
Yeah.
Do you want to get in the frame?
So, sorry guys. So do you start before the financial year or at the start of a calendar year? Do you start, or do you kind of go, oh, this is what I'm going to post up today, or do you have like a full plan, and do you have a system you stick to? Like, what is it all when you go, all right, this is what I'm going to do?
Very good question. I don't know if you're trying to get this out of me now, or if you already know the answer to this question.
No, I actually don't know if you do or not. So
no problem, Daryl. You're welcome. Okay, so social media, I don't have a plan for the financial year because our plan actually runs the entire year all the time, and it's triggered by an action, if that makes sense. So whenever we list a house, we've got a checklist, and those are my mentor program. You guys got access to my sales and listing checklist and sold checklist. But every time something happens, or every time something social media worthy happens, it's triggered. And I don't personally do it, and I've got my team in the office that does it. So if you have a PA, and you have a personal page, that can run it. If you've got an office and like, you know, like Nick or anyone else, if you guys have an office, then obviously you'd have a marketing assistant that gets these things triggered. But like some easy stuff is Facebook promotions for your posts or for your listings, but don't put them up on your profile because people start unfriending you if you just post listings all the time. So you need to have a real estate page. What's Brit saying?
I need ramen now.
I need ramen. Yeah, thanks. It's triggered by stuff like solds, just listed, finding buyers. I mean, check out my social media. You probably start getting an idea of what's happening. Check us out in Nat Group Real Estate on Facebook. Look at my Edgar Naslow pages. Look us up on Instagram. You start seeing that.
I might have missed it. Did you say if you do a plan or not?
No, I don't. So,
okay, so you just go basically just as it comes.
Yeah, well, we have a plan, but the plan's in a checklist, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I don't sit down and go, for the next 12 months, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
The plan's already set in place where if we list a house, this happens.
Yep.
If we sell a house, this happens. And when it settles, this happens. So it's triggered.
So for me, on my plan for social media, as I said, I'm just starting this. I've got the new website I'm doing, the information I'm doing. For me, I've actually planned out exactly what's going to be released in my blog/video things. And then I'll go to the social media stuff. And obviously then, because obviously things just happen. everything else that kind of happens from there, then basically that'll be just added into it as well.
Yeah.
So, but I'm the kind of person that I need to have stuff planned, otherwise I kind of just forget to do stuff.
Yeah, and that's hence why the checklist. I'm huge on checklists because I never used to be structured. Never used to be. Then I started thinking, what happens if, like in an EBU thing, I don't have time to teach my new PAs and my PAs what to do when a house gets listed. And I don't want them to forget, to contact the vendor or to send out the vendor report or to let them know that the link's been uploaded. So it's a checklist where everything is step by step and they need to tick it off. And it's like McDonald's, everything just flows. And I can go on a holiday for a week and I know that everything will happen as if I'm still here. And that's for I've got a property management checklist, sales checklist, appraisal checklist. I've got a checklist for everything. So if I die tomorrow, I hope I don't, but if I die tomorrow, the business can keep running. Yeah. And I think that's important too. If you've got an EBU or an assistant, or if you're running an office, you guys need checklists. You really do.
So Nick was just asking, do we share our plan with our staff members? I have now with my PA, because obviously I want my PA to do a lot of that back end stuff loaded on each website and do everything like that. They know what I want to achieve from my social media and how I want to target them, and my whole office does as well. I have some people in my office that really don't believe in social media, and that's fine, there's no problem with that. And I've got some other people in my office that, they've got a very strong social media background and a very strong marketing background. So it's quite good that I'm getting both sides, the people that don't want to be hounded on social media, I've got their input, and then I've got the people that I've got a lot of background for it as well. So what do you obviously share, because a lot of your assistants do a lot of that work.
Yeah. So, I don't really hide anything. As you guys can tell, I'm pretty real. I'll share anything. And our checklist is open to everyone. So anyone can pick up the checklist for a listing and see where it's up to. And that's because if someone is having today off, someone else can pick up that file and work through it. And they are all accountable, because it doesn't go to the next phase of that checklist until it's all ticked off. I'll grab one quickly without showing you the details. Elizabeth, I'm quickly going to say this, and Andy...
Check baby, check baby,
check
1, 2, 3.
And yes, you need to have a Zinfandel.
Yep.
So Elizabeth was saying something about it's different in Sydney. Now,
No, as in thanks for sharing.
Thanks for sharing, yeah. But that just reminded me of something else. So, and it's not related to what Elizabeth said, but she just reminded me about people saying it's different. It's great, but it's different in the country. It's different in my area. It's different in the waterfront. It's different on the Gold Coast. It's different in Brisbane. And look, I'm going to go out there and say it's not different. The market might be a little bit different, but you adjust these figures.
Yeah. Sorry.
So I might say, but we don't get 100% success rate. That's fine. Adjust these figures.
Yeah.
You still deal with houses or property and people. So you can't say that the market's better in one place than another. Now, our office deals in Brisbane CBD, which is not close to Zac. Brisbane CBD, South Brisbane. So we've got CBD stuff. We've got every day, $300,000 to $500,000 homes. We deal in acreage. We deal in waterfront. We deal in high end. We deal in low end. And I can tell you that I know every market's different, but the same principles apply, which is calling people, prospecting, telling them what they need to hear and the stuff they should be hearing. And this plan, it's the same thing regardless of what market you're in. So don't blame the market. The market is the market. Just adjust your figures. I was talking to a guy, and he was telling me, I'm having my worst year ever. I'm making half of what I did last year. That's well, double your activities. It's all activity based. So I know if you're making 100,000, last year making 200,000, and the market's changed a little bit and you're not selling as much, adjust your figures and double your activities to get you 200,000, double what you're doing now. So you might have to put a little bit more work in, but it doesn't mean that real estate's not going to benefit you. You're not going to make a lot more money. This thing, I reckon real estate's a really prosperous, amazing industry, and it's draining and it does get to you sometimes, and people get to you. But I think it's the most amazing industry in the world, because you get to deal with houses and people all the time, and then you get paid amazing money for just serving people. I'm going to go get the checklist while Zac probably looks at that.
Alright, I'm trying to think of what else there. Anyone else got any other questions at all for anything? So one of the things that I want to know from Edgar is, Edgar, where do you think the like we're on this now doing live streaming and stuff like that, where do you think for social media and live streaming and stuff like that will be used in real estate? Obviously, we're seeing it with auctions or auctions.
That's a good question.
Who it is. Hey
Joe.
We're seeing it at auctions for that kind of stuff. How else would you incorporate that into real estate? Or show them the checklist, but then how else would you incorporate this
live
into
streaming?
Real estate? Yeah, you'll show them the talk about the checklist first, and then we'll go back to that.
So I know someone's talking about a checklist, and I'm not going to give you a close up because this is for
Take a screenshot and zoom in.
There you go. But without giving away too much, this is one of our sale checklists. anything in blue is salesperson related. I'm over here. So anything in blue is what the salespeople have to make. Now this file does not go to Brit or any of the admin until all the blue stuff is done. And I mean, obviously, if you're doing this every day, you can write down your own checklist or join the mentor program and you can get a copy. All the red stuff is what happens, but it doesn't go on to the next line until that one's ticked off. Now, they've got to put dates in and they've got to initial it and put initials next to it. And this cannot be empty without, it can't be empty. You've got to fill every single step along this checklist out. Sorry, Zach, I need to get you.
Right.
And then black is management, so whatever the management's going to do at the end. But it doesn't move on to the next phase until the checklist is done. So everyone's accountable. The salesperson's accountable to the person doing the admin. The salesperson's accountable to Brit who's doing the contracts and stuff. And if it's not filled in properly, it just goes back on their desk. And listings don't get processed unless the blue section is filled out. So that's how we do it. We just don't move on to the next phase unless one phase is completely done.
Yeah.
Can't see, guys. Yeah, Adam, because I'm not giving away my checklist, but that's why you can't see it. I'm going to put that here.
Cool. So yeah, where would you, are you, obviously you've done these a couple of times and there's a lot of people who have joined in and come off and everything like that, and we're seeing Domain use it, we're seeing realestate.com use it, we're seeing a lot of agents do it. Where do you see the future for live streaming or this kind of stuff for?
I think live streaming is going to be great for like interaction, but if you're a real estate agent and you actually want to use this for business, I see the benefit in this in open house. Like you can do a live stream open house.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen people doing live stream auctions, and you can, I don't think you can bid. I'm not sure if you can bid on an auction in the live stream.
But not through Facebook, but I reckon they'll come in.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing stopping you from watching the live stream and being on the phone and doing a phone bid, right?
Yep.
But I think as a real estate agent, you can do a live stream at an open house. There's nothing stopping you from walking around and maybe having two people at the open house. I don't know if you guys run two or one agent, but as one person's in there, then the other person's there doing a live stream at the open house, showing the property, talking about it, and then it saves it to your Facebook page. And it's like doing a virtual inspection without actually being there.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing you guys should probably do. And if you have a fantastic, amazing, something really interesting, do a live stream on one or two of your houses on Saturdays. And if I see this, I'm going to know that you got this idea from me.
We're planning the property I showed you this morning.
Yeah.
Where I've listed a property yesterday. I've had over 40 people inquire in less than 24 hours. We are live streaming the open home on Saturday morning. Probably not the Saturday afternoon one. The Saturday morning one will be the busiest one. So you obviously want to try and promote yourself and make it look good. But the good thing about it, it's if a homeowner actually saw that it's live, you can't dodgy it up.
Yeah.
So I see a lot of agents saying that they had 60 groups through the property, but what they mean is 60 people, and there might have been 5 people in one group.
Yeah.
But and they're just saying that, but they may have only had really 2.
Yeah.
Or 3 or 4 or whatever it is, different groups. And cool. And it's going to be an interesting thing. So I'm hoping there's going to be a lot of people coming on the weekend. Otherwise, it is what it is. There's no real denying it once it becomes live streaming. But I think that open homes are quite good. The auctions are really good. There is obviously companies that are already doing live bidding on auctions. I don't know if you've seen that before. I think Daniel's doing that. But there are companies that are doing live auctions and through webcams and stuff like that. And I think that Facebook will actually bring in a auction thing, because it's not just us that are doing it. There's a lot of other companies that are doing it. But I think that live streaming can be done for everything. So even just your normal stuff when you're putting, I don't know, if you're doing community stuff. If you're doing, there's a lot of guys on here at the moment that spend a lot of time in their community, but they're not getting any recognition at all from that. And it's not about like working in a charity and telling everyone, hey, I work at a charity, I'm a great guy, you better list with me. But if you're at a school fete, or if you're doing anything like that, then that can really, it promotes the area, promotes yourself, and it's quite good. I'm probably not as creative. I probably don't know where else it's going to go or where else you can really use it for. But if you can use it at the moment to do all those kind of things, it's quite good. We wanted to do it. Actually, balls to the floor here, or balls to the wall, whatever they say. I'll be honest. We had an auction in Chermside. Now, I don't believe in auctions. It's just something that I've kind of I've got a bit of a not a love for. Let's just say that. Yeah, it haven't really worked for us. I was thinking about doing a live stream for it, and I went, no, not going to do a live stream because I don't think we're really going to get anyone to the auction. We're not going to get any bidders. that was the worst mistake I could have done, because we sold that for a record price for the same size block of land in the area, and we had bids consistently going and going and going and going. So that was a regret of mine, and I wish we could have done it because it would look really good. Now I think it was $45,000 over the record sale price in the local area for the same size block of land. So, and the thing is, we'll never get that again. That's just a ridiculous price. So, yeah. So I reckon that that's a really good idea. If you just do it wherever you can, live stream it, do whatever you can.
Yeah. And you know what? I know you're talking about the open house thing. Even if the open house is empty, there's nothing stopping you from doing. It's like a virtual tour or a virtual inspection of the house. Just explain what the house has got. So during an open house, just walk through there. Give them a walkthrough. Put it on your Facebook page and show them the amazing water views or whatever it is. So I reckon just do 1 or 2 live streams. I'm actually going to start using this for a different kind of mentor session. So rather than doing this is the real estate edition, but I'm going to start doing stuff that's non-real estate related. So it goes from my other businesses and other stuff that I do, which is, health, wealth, and happiness. So I'll start sharing that, and I reckon it's a great thing to just promote promote who you are and give people insight. This thing's been going it was supposed to go for half an hour, but you guys are still logged on. I know people have come and gone. But it'd be interesting to see. I reckon this will probably get a couple of hundred views or more.
End of the day, yep.
I mean, we've been going for nearly an hour and 10 minutes. So
yep.
If you have any last questions, ask away. My battery's going to die. I went to get my charger.
We're going to tee it up. Anyone got anything else that they want to ask Edgar?
Last things. Otherwise, you know what? If you don't write your questions now, but you watch this video later. So I did get a few people. This is funny. And actually, I'll talk about social media, like the networks in a second. I actually did get a few people watch the last one from Wednesday. And while they were watching it, they thought it was still live. And they were asking questions. So if you guys don't see the live thing at the top of the video, it means it's no longer live. But still ask the questions in the feed, because I'll see that. And I think next Wednesday, I don't know if Zach's up for it, but next Wednesday at 5:30, I'll do another live feed. We'll just keep this going.
Next Wednesday, he'll come to mine.
Man, okay, you're paying for dinner. But maybe ask some questions. So if you got some now, ask away. If I don't get to them or I've missed some, I'll address it next week. There are some questions I'm getting on social media via Instagram, Twitter, and on my Facebook messages. I'm sorry, guys. I just can't get to all of them, especially when you hear what I'm about to do. But when I see these questions, trust me, I'll try to add it to the stuff that we talk about on a Wednesday. Talking about Facebook, I'm just going to quickly say this for anyone that's going to watch this later on. I've got that position about the PA's PA, so April's PA. We got an application, and I'm wondering how the hell does this person see it? Obviously from Facebook, but not my friends. This is how cool Facebook is and how far deep it goes. This person that applied for this position for April's assistant is one of the friends on my Facebook page. His friend, who's her dad, goes through her mum, and it's her daughter. So it went 4 deep. So the daughter saw it via her mum, who saw it via her father, who saw it through my friends, because he's on my friends list. So I didn't realise how deep Facebook goes, but Facebook goes 4 deep into 4 networks away from where you actually are now. So that's how amazing social media is. So, and that's on the public posts. So obviously make sure that whatever you post publicly, go through your Facebook page and make sure everything's cool and nice. But that's how far deep it goes. So when people start commenting and liking your stuff, it goes even further down the line. So that's like what they call degrees of separation. She's 4 degrees of separation away from me, yet she still applied for a job that I only put up yesterday.
Yep.
So that's how amazing this Facebook thing can be.
Yeah, cool.
All right, guys, unless you have any other questions, I'm going to finish my coconut water. Zach's finishing his water. Thank you so much for tuning in. No doubt there's going to be a couple of hundred views. But yeah, amazing. Mark, I spoke about you, so you're going to have to go through this whole hour and a half. Mark's the guy that if you can see him in the feed, he's the guy that just joined us.
Yep.
Trent,
what watch have you got on?
What watch, Kenneth? Trent loves my fashion. I'm really impressed with it. Today it is the Kenneth Cole. Thank you very much for watching, Trent. Good pickup, bro. Good pickup. But
yeah, we'll try and do these every Wednesday. Like I said, we're not the best in the world. We're not professional trainers or that, but we're kind of doing stuff. We're trying new things. And the cool thing is we've got connections to some of the best agents in the world, not just even in Brisbane. I'm actually going to be heading off to see Matt and Josh Altman very shortly, hence one of the reasons. So if you guys have got questions for those guys, I'll be spending a couple of days with them, and been working with them pretty in hand. I'll be with Eric Thomas for a few days when I'm in Chicago, Michigan. Those guys obviously, can motivate the hell out of anyone. So if there's anything anyone wants me to ask them, then again, let me know. I'm going to try and catch up with anyone that's worth catching up with in America to try and get ahead of what the Americans are doing and try and bring it back to Australia. Happy to share that as well if I find out anything.
There you go. Live feeds from the USA by Zac McCarty. Let's see if we can get him to do that. And like you said, like all my stuff, it's just I've learned all this from my mentors. And I love people that are real. I love people that are in it doing it. And they're the ones, I was telling Liv today, and I know it's going a little bit longer than we expected, but I was saying to Liv, someone was giving her advice and said, never take advice from someone that's not doing as well as what you are.
Yep.
So only take advice from people that are there, that are willing to share, that are successful, because the successful people, a lot of them are willing to share. But don't take advice from people that are doing worse or not even fail. People fail. I fail all the time. I've got lots of stuff.
I've gone up, I've gone down. I'm only building back up again.
And I've had ideas and businesses I thought were going to take off and they've failed, and I've got other ideas and businesses that have taken off. But just someone that's been there, that's doing it, that's successful, you listen to people that are successful and they become your mentors. And to get a mentor, you don't actually have to subscribe to anyone's program. You can watch these videos, you can read their books, you can go to their YouTube page, you can get inspiration from anyone.
Yep.
So, I just thank everyone that's helped me out, and some of these guys are probably the ones that are on this feed.
Yep, that's it.
I think that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. It's gone for ages, but I'm just glad people interacted. And thanks to Zac. Everyone give Zac some love on his social media side.
Yeah, all good, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Frank, thank you so much. Tim, Trent, and everyone else that's online. Love you guys. And as Robin Banks says, don't forget to keep being awesome. Talk to you soon. Do you like that?